located on Pattaya 3rd Road, North Pattaya. ONCE Pattaya is 32-story high-rise condominium. On previous video, we explained about how piling method works. Today, I want to talk about the foundation of 32-story building, how it starts, and what technique we use. Now we are arrived at ONCE Pattaya. And this is the look of 32-story building that will bring you to see how to start this foundation. Today, the foundation that I will show you is the biggest one of ONCE Pattaya project that has 81 bore piles and it can take over 30,000 tons. This foundation surely uses lots of concrete. It will take a reaction called the hydration reaction. Here we are at the back of our sales office. As I mentioned earlier, lots of concrete. It will take a reaction called the hydration reaction. To avoid the reaction, we have to separate into two parts of adding concrete in the foundation method. We adding concrete in two parts, but it needs to be equally as a first part. But how we manage to do that? Today, I will tell you the process. A foundation or a footer that cover 81 bore pile take over 34,000 tons of weight. Imagine a car weight, about 2 tons, a huge one. It take over 17,000 cars to be equal to the weight of bore piles. Now, could you imagine how tall would it be all over 10,000 cars? Before becoming a final foundation, you will see right here. Metals do we use? I will let you know after we bore pile. Then we dig the dirt next to the bore pile until the designer measure. After we dig the hole, we cut the top of bore pile that is over measured. The top of bore pile is mixed with bentonite solution, so we need to cut it off. After that, we will pour the concrete on the next layer. The purpose of pouring lean concrete is to equalize the surface. After we pouring the lean concrete that we test, that's the concrete that we pour in our 100% smooth. Do it have any crack, holes or bend? The engineer standard test is a seismic test. Test by using the hammer knock at bore pile to see the wave. The wave that shows is a stress wave to see the wave are steady or not. Here it's the wave that show out the stress wave result. The stress wave that's steady, it will show on the graph. After we tested all the bore pile, we will set up the formwork and then we pour the concrete. But before we pour down the concrete, we place down the steel bar. The first layer of steel bar is bottom reinforcement. We use a steel bar, the diameter at 32 mm. After we finish the bottom reinforcement, we continue the top layer. The top layer is 28 mm steel bar, 10 cm distance, same as the bottom layer. After we tie up the steel bar, And the important things is the dowel bar. Dowel bar size 20 mm. We set every 40 cm as a grid. This dowel will be one that bonding between the bottom of the top layer of concrete. After the reinforcement process is all set, next we are ready to pour down the concrete, but every tied up of steel bar need to be checked in, have to concern with the engineer design. This is example of the top layer, steel bar 28 mm, 10 cm grid pattern. And other important is concrete covering. If underground concrete, a covering need to have enough cover. The concrete covering is 7.5 cm, and this 7.5 cm covering needs to cover all the steel bar under it. After we done tied up the steel bar, we are ready to pour in the concrete in the mold, but before we need to clean things up as much as we can. We might use a high pressure water, clean with air pressure, or blow out the dust around the footing. After we done all the cleaning, next we will be pouring concrete in next mold. Our project use a concrete that have a 320 KSC strength. That means 1 cm tube of concrete can take about 320 kilos. Concrete that we pour in the footer, we use a concrete pipe into the footer. We need to pour down softly to prevent a segregation. We need to put the end of the concrete pipe until it reaches to the bottom of the footer. We do it constantly. In the meantime, we use a vibrator for prevent the bubble or hole in any gap of layer. We need to pour down the concrete covering the whole footer. The vibration will do this job to make the concrete tight in every segment. After we done on the first layer, we then pouring down the concrete bonding compound. Concrete bonding compound is used to make two concrete layer bonding to become a one thick layer. This is all the metal, how we pouring concrete that separate layer and make two layer become one. After we done pouring concrete, we will pour down concrete curing compound to keep the moisture loose too fast. This compound will help concrete carry more weight by the theory. So this is all the metal of starting the foundation of the biggest one of ONCE Pattaya. A high-rise condominium, 32 stories, that we designed all the structure in every details. Constructor that have a highly skill that make ONCE Pattaya structure strong, safe in every detail. For more information and update on ONCE Pattaya construction, news and progress, all the technique, you can follow us on Facebook page Honor Thailand and website honorthailand.com. Thank you very much.
Thank you.